Hello everyone, you're welcome once again to Let's Talk with Esther Agbi. I am Esther Agbi. So today we're going to talk about wisdom. Is this wisdom? It's a question. Is this wisdom? That's going to be the title of my topic. I hope you're all doing very well anyway. It's a beautiful day today. It's a little bit foggy out there, but it's still beautiful. Yeah, so there are many practices that people engage in and they call it wisdom. You know, people do all kinds of things and they say, I was very wise. I was very wise, you know, so they call it wisdom. But for us to start, I want to start from this perspective. What is wisdom? I'll ask that question. What exactly is wisdom? What do we mean by wisdom? Wisdom is the application of knowledge. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. So the next question would be, what then is knowledge? Knowledge, it's the acquisition of facts or practices or experience that could be gained through education or everyday practice, you know, or otherwise. You could acquire knowledge from education or everyday practices or just watching or observing someone who is a mentor or something like that. So that is knowledge. And then after having acquired knowledge, you have to put it to practice. That is where the wisdom comes into play. So wisdom is the application of knowledge. So now, to be called a wise person, you have to be able to apply the knowledge that you have gained through experience or through education. You have to apply it as at when due or when needed, you know. So when a child does something, you know, we all say, oh, maybe when a child does something that's very silly, so just leave that child alone. It's just, he's a child, you know, you just easily forgive. But when an adult does something that is very silly, you say, oh, that's a very foolish act. We wouldn't say the person is foolish, but that action, the act is foolish. So it's very important, you know, to have, that's the reason why it's very important to have a good mentor, because over time, whatever knowledge you have acquired or whatever knowledge you have gained from your mentor, you may want to put it to practice sometime, you know. So if you have a bad mentor and then you gained the wrong knowledge, unfortunately, that's what you will be putting to practice and you will not appear foolish. So mentorship is very important. I'll just give a quick example. There was a guy, there was a video that was going on. I don't know how to upload other people's video into my own video. I would have done that. It's very funny. So there's this guy, he went into the gas station, you know, to buy gas for his motorbike. But he looked at the gauge. It was not working. It's not pulling down. But the owner of the gas station said, don't worry. We just open your tank, we fill it up. So he engaged him. That's the buyer of the gas. He engaged him and he started talking with him. But someone just came from the other side and brought a can, an empty can, and was, you know, because the guy thought the gas is being poured into his own tank. At first, it was being poured into his own tank, but he was distracted because he was engaged by the owner of the gas station or whoever is trying to commit that prank on him. And then they started pouring the gas. That is the next person that came to assist that gas, the owner of the gas station, who was pouring the gas into an empty can. So it's kind of deceit, and he did that for a little while. But the owner, the person buying it didn't realize it because he was being engaged by the person that was talking to him. And then they removed it, excuse me, and started pouring it back into his can, and they gave it to another person, and that person went away. And they now told him, okay, this is the amount you have to pay. Then he paid. But, you know, at that short term, right, at that instance, the person selling the gas might think that he was very wise or that he tricked, you know, the other person or the buyer. He tricked the buyer. The seller might think that he tricked the buyer. But on the long term, when the buyer goes home and realizes that, okay, this amount of gas, usually when I buy it, it lasts for like maybe 5 days or 3 days or whatever the duration or the time span. and the one I bought from this your station now is lasting for just 1 day. Then he will begin to reflect and say, no, something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. And you may lose that customer. That is why it looks wise to the seller initially, but on the long term, it will be foolish, because you will lose that client, and not only that client, you may lose others, because he may go out and tell his friends, don't go over to that station. Don't go over to that station, because they are not sincere. So, so this wisdom, it's there are different types of wisdom. That is why I said I want to talk about it. Some people may think that they're wise just right now. In the short term, you may appear wise, but it will be foolish on the long term. So I'm asking, is that wisdom to begin to trick people and do all manner of things just to have wealth, or to gain or acquire some amount of money in a short time, what you do not even deserve, right? Is that wisdom? To me, it's a foolish act. Anyway, this is what I have for you for today. I'll continue the part 2 next time. Thank you very much. God bless you. Shalom. Bye for now.